Great minds think alike. You've heard this phrase before, right? It's a comforting notion that brilliant people naturally arrive at similar conclusions because they are, well, brilliant. But is there any truth to this proverb? Do great minds think alike? From Newton and
Leibniz,
both developing calculus independently, to Darwin and Wallace coming up with a theory of evolution within years of each other, history is filled with simultaneous discoveries. But what causes this phenomenon? It can't be pure coincidence, can it? Let's start with an idea called multiple discovery. It's the concept that major scientific discoveries and inventions are created around the same time by multiple people independently. For example, the telephone was both invented by
Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray
around the same time. They even filed their patents on the same day in 1876. Okay, this can't be a coincidence. Something has to explain this, surely. Some argue that multiple discovery happens due to the necessary conditions being met at that time in history. All of the pieces for the puzzle are there, so it's only a matter of time until someone puts them together. And there's no rule saying that multiple people can't put together the same puzzle. In other words, great minds think alike if they're under similar circumstances. But there's more to it. Cognitive science shows that our brains follow similar patterns of thought when faced with similar problems. This is known as convergent thinking. When two scientists have the same background, education, access to information, they might naturally converge on the same solution. Imagine two people working on the same jigsaw puzzle. Even if they're in different rooms, they'll eventually connect the same pieces because there's only one solution. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns and make connections. This is incredibly useful for problem solving, but this also means under similar conditions, we may arrive at similar conclusions. But there's another side to this coin, divergent thinking. While convergent thinking brings us to a common conclusion, divergent thinking is about generating creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. Artists, for instance, often think divergently. They experiment with different techniques, perspectives, and styles. With the same paints, they can create vastly different pieces. In some cases, in science, divergent thinking can also be useful. Einstein and
Bohr,
for example, both made significant contributions to physics, although they had very different views on the nature of reality. However, their disagreements led to deeper understanding and advancement in physics. While great minds often reach similar conclusions, it can be their differences that spark innovation. By challenging the norm, we find new ways of thinking that would have otherwise gone undetected. Do great minds think alike? Yes, on accident. To be the next great mind, you have to use your own ability, not an imitation of greatness. Perhaps it would be more accurate to say, great minds often think alike due to similar circumstances. However, individuality and originality are equally important in innovation. That is all.